Mo Monroe is wanted for the financial terrorist attack Black Monday.
Black Monday was my idea.
It's me, Wizard of Wall Street himself.
Mo is back, baby.
We are talking about the main event a lot, but really there's a big case to make that we should be mostly talking about the co-main event. Zhang Weili defeats Joanna Jedrzejczyk to retain her UFC strawweight title in what can only be considered, I think, Brian Campbell, the best women's fight in MMA history. I don't think it's the best strawweight fight, although it might be that. It might be the best UFC women's title fight, or it might be that too. Frankly, I think it's on the short list of best title fights, independent of gender. It, to me, is the best women's fight in MMA history. I wonder if you feel the same. I'd like to go first on this one. I was talking to, famous internet personality, Grabaka Hitman, Kaposa,
yes,
on Twitter, and he was compiling a list of all the best female
That's
fights.
funny you say that, because last night I watched what I consider to be the best three female fights, bang, 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 just to make sure I wasn't recency biased.
Fair enough. And he made a list on there, and you can look at them. It's a lot of Miesha Tate, Julie Kedzie. Miesha Tate, Holly Holm is another one. You can go down and look at the list. They're great fights on there. Here is the thing I think folks need to accept about this. I don't think that there's even a close second to this one, and I'll tell you why. Number one, the strawweight division, we already knew it was good. Show me any other champion in any other women's weight class, and then match them up with any top contender, and tell me you're going to get that out of them. It's not possible.
I called it a perfect storm because, Luke, it's rare enough.
Hold on, let me finish.
Well, you said I was going to go first, and then you
went first on literally the first two questions.
Yeah, but you teed me up. You do this thing where you're like, I'm going to let you go first after this 8-minute breakdown.
I don't give you an 8-minute breakdown. I gave it an 8-second breakdown. Let me finish on this one. So the point being is you can't get that out of any other weight class. I just don't think it's possible. But more to the point, I went back and I watched, I don't know if it was considered, I would put it on the list of best female 5-round fights when Zoila Frausto beat Megumi Fujii in Bellator. No, it was a good 5-round fight.
Pull out the hardcore sword there.
Well, no. Megumi Fujii was the original hardcore greatest women's fighter of all time. Cyborg kind of took that from her. You can say Nunes took it from Cyborg, whatever your view on that might be. But she was the original. She was Josh Barnett trained. And she was 20, I think, and 0, or 21 and 0 when she headed into that fight. And Zoila Frausto beat her. Now, the way she won was controversial. But here's the point. You go back and you look at that. Dude, the technical level there of that fight is fine. It's admirable. And then you look at that one. Here's the point about women's MMA. A lot of people are like, it's not the same as men's. Well, of course it can't be, right? You don't get as many participants trying globally. It takes a long time to develop. Well, dude, women's strawweight is here. It is on par or better than many men's divisions.
I was that guy years ago standing on the corner with the sign saying women's strawweight is the best division of all time.
And you deserve credit for it. Here's my point on this one is, when you look at the list of those other fights, I don't think they match up to the technical mastery. They don't match up to the violent quotient. They don't match up to the heart quotient. They don't match up to the drama quotient. And they can't, Brian Campbell, because they all happened in an era before the fight game on the women's side got as advanced as this.
Even more than that, and you're right, you made a great point. Skill level mixed with title, mixed with important, it was a perfect storm. But I think the reason why this storm was so perfect is, oh my God, I can't even look at that, Luke, is tell me when you're going to find this level of determination in two people at the same time. And I say this with full respect. I'm not a fighter, Luke, all right? I'm a freaking lover, okay? But some of our fighters, some of our all-time great fighters could not have been in a fight like that. There's been some champions who had multiple title defenses and were great and were dominant that aren't that type of dude on the inside that will fight life or death. Luke, I was 6 feet away from the cage during this. This was life or death. It was two people willing to base, they're, like you said, two effing savages. That's what you tweeted out. It was the most apt, perfect tweet. It was, Weili Zhang told me the day before the fight, this is life or death for me. And you hear that a lot, and you're like, yeah, you really want to win it badly. No, these two came together, former champion trying to regain glory after turning around her personal life and all that, and current champion who might be a global superstar down the road, who has the biggest country on her back and could be something, and they collided, and neither were willing to take a step back. The pace was insanity. The 5-round pace was ridiculous. The toughness, the willingness to basically, Luke, alter their life in there. I mean, I know that you can make funny Star Trek memes for what Joanna's face became, but if you were sitting cage side, you were worried for her long-term health.
Sure.
I'm still actually upset that they allowed her to do the cage interview, then take pictures with fans outside and basically do this big celebration. Get her to a damn hospital. That was almost all-time level damage. And by the way, Weili Zhang's face was falling apart from the second round on. The fact that Joanna succeeded in taking her into deep waters, and yet Weili Zhang found out that she actually has it on the inside. And then you see the championship adjustments made when Joanna goes southpaw in round 4 and completely turns the fight in the other direction. It is, without question, the greatest female fight of all time.
Now, what were the other ones you said you had watched that you thought might be close contenders?
The home championship bout because of the emotion and swings of momentum.
Yep.
The non-title Claudia Gadelha Jessica Andrade fight from a couple years ago is savage.
It's very good.
Blood, great. I think Joanna rose 2 in Brooklyn at 223.
Okay.
Because it was for a title, 5 rounds of technical brilliance. It got heated. It was back and forth. And then the other one is one a lot of people forget from the tough season. Rocky Pennington against Jessamine Duke was 3 rounds of hell. And this is better than all of them. I think the only debate here, Luke, is how high do you put it up in the ideal of greatest fight of all time?
You mean irrespective of gender?
Irrespective of gender.
It's high.
I mean,
it's high.
I think it's top 5, 100%.
That probably is
and
true.
I think it even is creeping into top 3. And now, look, you have to
Yeah.
understand, people are telling me that watching it at home, it wasn't as brutal as I was trying to make it out. I don't know if you've experienced that dichotomy
Yes,
sometimes.
that's true.
It was insanely brutal in person. And there's some things when you're sitting that close that you can see that TV can't. The absorption of blows, the damage, all that.
And the sound, the auditory sound.
Absolutely. This is, I got invested into their stories. I had Dana on Friday in an interview tell me, like, you got to understand, this is going to be the fight of the night. This might be an all-time fight. I got so bought in on this. I was as giddy as Robert Downey Jr. I'd love to see what was in his bloodstream. So when you're that invested, you could be subject to getting too high afterwards and being caught in the moment. I'll live in this moment forever. This is a top 3 fight of all time. Tell me a fight that's better than this, Luke. Tell me.
Lawler and McDonald 2.
I'll accept that. I think it's better than John Jones and Gustafsson 1.
I think it's competitive with
Because
it, yeah,
that
sure.
fight,
I have to go back and rewatch
that fight's
it.
going into the Hall of Fame. They announced it Saturday.
Yeah, which
that
is
fight
fine.
is one of those rare ones where it's never as good on rewatch. It was one of those because in the moment we didn't think it was going to be a
was so
challenge.
shocking, right.
It was so shocking. There are different fights that you can put on any point and you are right back there.
Vasquez Marquez.
I don't think this will be a fight that we'll rewatch a lot though. Because of the
brutality?
brutality.
There's-
Like you don't rewatch Schindler's List, right? You're not going to watch that every 6
I
months.
wouldn't compare this to the ritual murder of Jews, but nevertheless, here's one thing I will say. There's a term that it comes from dogfighting, but it gets applied. For example, Jorge Masvidal has used it for himself. It's called game bred. It's a slightly different term called gameness. And gameness is defined as pursuit of the fight despite the physical consequences. Boy, you want to talk about 2 fighters who had unbelievable gameness because was it the 4th or 5th round where already literally, let's be honest about it, Joanna got disfigured in this fight. And then on top of that, I think it was the 4th or 5th round, she caught a left hook, but she didn't catch it clean. It actually was a little bit out, and it shattered her nose and took it to the side. So she had a crooked nose, the swelling forehead, and they were still throwing down like animals. The pace was so high. They combined for an attempted almost 800 strikes between them overall. I've never seen numbers like
and
that.
just the leg kicks, both of their legs were just bright red the entire 4th.
Chael Sonnen makes a point about the brutality of 5-round fights and whether we should allow them. The point is, I think the toothpaste is out of the tube. There's no way to go back. We need them to decide these big contests. But dude, you look at their pay, and it was like what, 100, 200,000 for each of them. I mean, it should be.
That's one of those where you throw a couple $1 million behind the scenes.
I mean, what are you? I really and truly hope that there's some kind of way to get them more money, and maybe there will be, because that is criminal that they put out that kind of effort for that little amount of pay. Former presidential candidate Andrew Yang was even tweeting about that.
Joanna has 14 UFC fights. 10 are championship bouts. 7 of them have gone the distance, and of those 7, she took heavy damage in winning, and a lot of those.
Right.
Remember the Kovacevic fight. You remember even the Andrade fight, which was one-sided. She took some bombs late. Here's the deal, Luke. I think she should retire.
That's interesting.
And people think I'm crazy for that because she just fought so great. She almost beat the new champ, like all that stuff.
I thought by the way, I thought she won that fight.
I thought it was 3-2 Zhang, but it was it was ridiculous.
Right.
I don't think she can ever win a championship again. I think that this is the toughest division by far. The fact that she doesn't have elite level power, she's been able to get around that for a long time by outgassing you. And now you saw in a fight, and look, it just may be where Weili Zhang ends up being so special that this was just a great moment. But her superpower, if you go watch the Gadelha rematch, is I'll take all this punishment, but I will outlast you. When that becomes your calling card and you've taken 5-round damage for a long time, I think it's you just cut clean and you go. And I know people saying that's crazy. She could beat all these people, but what for? Unless it's for the money. Hey, Cell phones
Well, you
off
got
the
a
table.
real set of winners here today, huh? Okay, can we turn your phones on again?
How about you guys fix the AC? I'm just dripping sweat right here. You guys just watch
One
it
last
laughing.
point about that.
No,
I
but
do think the sun
don't
has.
think
I do think the sun. Retire or not retire. I do think the sun has set on her as a legitimate title contender, which is to say she'll beat good people. She always had, to your point, like Gadelia was always physically stronger than her. Gadelia had even, I would say more well-rounded in the sense she could strike a little bit, but also wrestle a lot. But now what you're seeing is, I do think she was, Joanna, a little bit ahead from a technical mastery, ahead of Zhang Weili, but not by much. And then the physical differences for Zhang, now the gap has really caught up and even surpassed her a little bit.
Because there was a point at the end of the first round where Joanna was taking heavy damage with those big right hands. And I'm sure everyone at home was saying what I was saying was like, if she keeps brawling with this heavier puncher, she's going to be in trouble. And the fact that she was able to turn that into a full-on brawl and survive, and Luke, that's against the you're only going to go downhill from here. And for what? Again, I don't know her financial situation. Yeah. I'm just saying, here's somebody who, when she was on top, was talking about getting out. I want to start a family. This 115 cut is so bad for my body. I like that she came in such incredible shape, said she never made weight this easily.
Right.
But I think it's the same spot where Paul Felder was in. Now, he didn't have the decorated background as her, but when he almost half retired before that last fight, the point was that I've gotten as far as I can go, and it's probably only downhill
Yeah,
from
but he's
here.
also got another gig set up.
Mo Monroe is wanted for the financial terrorist attack Black Monday.
Black Monday was my idea.
It's me, the Wizard of Wall Street himself.
Mo is back, baby.